Oh.
What are you after?
The white bits.
I found these.
Yeah. Are these
These are random again.
Are these actual headphones?
The white ones got destroyed. Yeah, those are.
These came out of your phone that I found.
Yeah, they'll go.
And because this is my only headphone working now.
Okay. And it's broken.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's all happening. What is up? Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, we are live once again on this beautiful, I don't even know what day it is.
Thursday, the 25th.
I've been basically on a holiday for a week. It has and it hasn't felt like a holiday though.
We've been busy.
Like, we've just been totally on the go. I can happily report though, unlike the rest of my workaholic life, up to this point, I've actually been able to take a break. Hannah will attest to this. I mean, I've been watching my emails.
Yeah.
Right, watching my emails. But not really doing work, staying up late, doing papers.
Yeah, no, you've been good.
Yeah, that's your patch line there.
Actually time off. Been actually taking time for the family. And I can hear the music now.
Good. So we'll get you another set of headphones because that's like a budget Motorola set of buds. So we'll get you something else. But
Works for the meantime.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's good to be back.
How's everyone today?
Just we're just on here to see what happens. We've got high hopes that a few of our friends might come along, but only a couple of talking points from me. One of those is child safety.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking, with all this stuff we've been doing in the school holidays,
Yeah.
naturally I've been very safety conscious about my daughter, and especially yesterday we were at a skate park. And I was like, oh no, there's so many things to be aware of. But, truth be told, if you think about my mum and my dad, what they were like back in the day, they weren't really bothered.
No.
I mean, they were to a point, but really, we sort of went out the gate and came back like 5 hours later. So my question is, do you think the situation is different these days?
I'm going to answer this in two ways, okay?
Go.
Yes, I do think our situation's different. But the second thing is, I actually think there's a middle ground. The middle ground is actually... nowadays, I feel like there's a lot more... it depends on where you live. It depends on what your children enjoy doing, and...
I'm just going to put my phone on silent because I realised it was loud.
What your children enjoy doing, and the middle ground is, as children get older, sadly, some children get embarrassed by their parents and want less interaction. But the thing is, the middle ground, I don't think that it should be the case. The middle ground is, maybe you are not front and centre, you're worried about them, but by them, near them, present.
Yeah.
Present always, but the difference is actually what you're saying, learning to trust them a bit more, learn to trust that they will respond to you, they will actually say daddy and know that you're there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe the middle ground.
I mean, as they say, there's no sort of instruction manual for parenthood,
No.
and I don't mind saying, I'm making it up as I go. Because, unfortunately, I'm separated from my daughter's mother, and that brings an element of complexity as well.
Yeah.
For me to have to make the right calls pretty much all by myself. I mean, truth be told, definitely have your support.
Yeah.
But it is different.
It is different because I feel like it would be a lot easier even if you had your daughter's support on what she likes doing, what she wants to do, what are the latest things that she's learning from school that her friends are talking about, what are those little conversations that you're not getting as little triggers that you can put in the back of your pocket for school holidays. You can think, right, we're going to go to this movie, and see it. It's always talked about with her mum, and then always going to do it with her mum, and then what do you get to do?
Yeah, right. And, just thinking about, she has broken her wrists already. That's the other thing. So for me...
Not with you, though.
No. Not with me.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do... You're so proud of that, Hannah.
Yes.
Had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And,
because you're such a good dad.
Thankful for that, but she has broken her wrists. Was that last year or this year? I feel like it was this year.
This year.
So both her wrists, I mean, that's a big deal,
Yeah.
So I have been conscious of that because, I know I speak about being separated and it almost seems irrelevant, but I don't want to get the blame for that. I don't want her getting injured, and most people would just say, okay, it's one of those things that happen, it sucks, just get her better, take her to the hospital. But I feel like if she was injured in my care, it would be a much bigger thing.
Well, we already do know that that is the perception, and the trust is not there from the other side. So I know that that's really hard on you because you deal with the fact that you're not trusted, but you want to give it all, and you are so conscious of your daughter, and maybe some people think that you might be a bit overprotective, but you're a dad.
And getting really deep, I mean, am I protecting her or am I protecting me? There's a question. In some ways it's both. Definitely both.
Yeah.
But, going back a bit and just saying, I'm trying to get better at giving you that distance. Like, the other day, she climbed a tree and I was like, I don't know, man. But it's important for me to remember that just because I can't climb a tree doesn't mean she shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing with that concept as well. Like, there's places she can go, places she can climb that I never can do because of my disability. Never can do, won't do, nothing.
And that is one thing that's pretty interesting too. The other day we were at the park and we were rock hunting, and these were pretty old trees, and I was questioning if I should really be going over these trees with the roots. I was thinking,
I don't think you were wearing the right shoes either. You were wearing sneakers. Hey, they're not the right shoes for tree climbing. You need like hiking boots.
Yeah, but no,
hiking boots or no shoes. That's a weird thing. It's almost better to wear no shoes.
Just the way my ankle been, I wouldn't go no shoes.
Okay.
Since I broke my ankle last year, I was like, no, I'm not gonna put a foot wrong. And
do you reckon the way you twisted it, like if someone playing basketball they twisted it like that, it'll be them finished for basketball. Because it feels like feels like it's been ongoing for you.
Yeah, it's
the whole ankle.
Definitely infected me. So the interesting thing was like climbing over all these different size ropes and into these little crevices, and I'm like, I can't see what I'm doing, but I was right in there, so let's go.
Yeah, it's amazing, and for that fact, we really are a team. And we've got to have Rachel Peterson on here one day.
Definitely.
Rachel Peterson is a huge advocate for disability parenting in New Zealand, and I don't feel like I've had that discussion yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a really good sit down with another disabled parent and said, hey, what's it been like for you? What are some tips? How can we go about this as disabled New Zealanders or just disabled people? You don't have to be New Zealander, It's content like that we really need, I think.
And I think just for us personally, it'd be great to learn from Rachel, as she's got a daughter who's older than Evelyn, actually maybe understanding the challenges that
Oh no, I think your daughter's younger.
She does have one daughter who's older?
Yeah, she's got a daughter that's like 19.
Yeah.
Or 18, I can't remember.
So I wasn't going to say the age, I was just going to say that she's got
we
one
can say the age, just
one who's older,
say the name.
One who's younger, and I was just thinking the fact of the little things that she already knows, the different things that she has experienced as a parent. So that'd be really interesting to learn. Those little things. Just what little tips has she learned from other people? This is a really weird question, okay? And I don't know if we'll be able to solve this, but it's a horrible way of putting it, but the concept of disabled parenthood, how do we actually get the understanding out there that it is possible to be a parent and live with a disability?
First of all, we need to face facts that it's definitely not celebrated.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
I've told the story many times. I don't know if I've told it here on Twitch, but
I don't think so.
But basically, my whole family from both sides, my daughter's mother, my mother, family, everybody, they were just like, don't keep it. Straight away when we got the news that she was pregnant, like, were we trying to get pregnant? Not really. But were we taking precautions? Not really. So yeah, we were planning, like, trying to have a baby, but, like, yeah, just gonna happen. And yeah, the family wasn't ecstatic. They weren't supportive. They weren't anything. And I know that my mum doesn't watch my Twitch, so I can say, first thing she thought of is how much less I would spoil her children.
I remember having this conversation with you, and you let me know that actually at the time you were in a pretty stable situation and you were looking for growth for you once you found out, and you were fighting to actually create a life, and it was just said no support either side, and
No.
I was devastated for you.
It was really hard. Taco Maniac says, I dare you two to make out for a follow. The only problem with that, Taco, is that we've read the community guidelines and we'd be instantly banned by even remotely thinking about doing it. Thanks, though.
Good to see you back, Taco.
Have we met Taco before?
I'm sure we have.
Yeah, name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You could follow anyway, Taco, and then you'd be awesome anyway.
Yeah.
But there'll be no making out going on the stream.
Where are you from?
Yeah,
By the way,
I can't remember.
I don't think he told us last time that's thing. I think he suggested something similar last time. So I don't think we've
Yeah,
really
is
met
this
him.
the same dude? Like, does he follow, or how does he come back like that?
Maybe we have a friend who he follows.
Maybe.
Yeah, auto hosting.
Who's
us?
hosting me? I can't see. Oh, Sky is hosting us
Yeah, cool.
at the moment. It's been a while since we've seen Sky.
Yeah, we need to see all our friends again. We missed everyone, but we wanna come
We
back
dipped out big time, eh?
Yeah. We're having connection problems and problems with rig
And problems with the business in the background. So you got to do what you got to do.
yeah.
Well, not problems, just stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
So where were we? We were talking about
No one was
parenthood.
supportive.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to catching up with Rachel. We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. Well, we should message you on Facebook later.
So the other thing is, I may as well just talk about it now, because if I talk about it, it will inspire me to do something about it. Really think about reinvigorating the podcast.
Yeah.
So we do have a Jade Farrow Show podcast, and it's available everywhere where good podcasts are stored. So if you could do me a real solid and just search Jade Farrow Show anywhere where you store your podcast and give me a follow, that'd be really helpful. Got a couple of projects in the works, people that I'm talking to for interviews. Really inspiring, community-focused people.
Yeah.
Some on the opposite side of the political spectrum to me. I wouldn't even say political, because I'm not that political. But maybe on the opposite side of, beliefs and things that I think make society great. People on the opposite side, it's so great that they want to talk to me.
Yeah. That's what we want.
You
We
know?
want different opinions. We want to reflect and learn from others.
We may even get the DPA president, Mrs. Jerry Pomeroy, on the show at some point. So that would be really awesome.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. I'm sort of name dropping her, I know, but we've talked about it, and it's in the works. So yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be a rigmarole in terms of the getting it over the line legally, but we'll see. What are you excited about for the rest of the year? You're working on stuff.
I'm working on a lot, and actually tomorrow we're having a really important meeting for the company, which is really exciting. And I'm really excited for growth and looking at how we can grow the company and where to begin. I see that I haven't really known where to start, and I see that I've kind of overwhelmed myself. So
the bit is when you're in it and you're doing, and then you don't know how to grow.
Yeah.
And you can't see what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to actually recognizing what I'm doing wrong, and actually,
Or if you're doing anything wrong.
or actually just prioritizing things and reflecting on, hey, that's actually a really simple fix. It's not actually as hard as you think. Hey, if we did this, then that would happen, and just improvements. And I've got some great little simple ideas for like business practices to do.
Streamlining processes and stuff like that.
Streamline processes and just little processes like I actually want to be scheduling a weekly meeting with you, Jade. Like, so it's a 1 hour meeting every week.
Maybe not the same time, but definitely every week
Just
without
every
fail.
week.
Yeah.
Without fail. Not the same time, of course. Your schedule changes and whatnot, but I think it'd be great just to be able to let you know, hey, this is going on. and then not be feeling like I'm letting you down and not telling you what's going on, or not actually catching up with you, or if I'm struggling with something, maybe I can just ask you something and you'll have a simple idea, and then you're not thinking about this project not being done, or, you know, just little reflections that we can talk to each other, and you might think of something, or something might come up in your other work, but an intel that you can share for the company. So yeah.
And I guess for me, you know, I'm always looking for growth, and I'm always thinking about what it is that I do in terms of primarily policy advice and project management. We need to get the scale going. We need to get more clients, and, you know, always really passionate to grow the client base, and, you know, communications is what we're passionate about. And, you know, wouldn't it be cool if people like Ants and others in the talent team division, if we just had a whole stable of Twitch streamers that we represented?
Yeah, I would love that.
That would just be amazing.
I'd love that, and that's part of another conversation I want to have with you tomorrow, and just growth. And that's what I really want to do. And we'll talk about how we an agenda for tomorrow, so that's great. But there's lots of things. I don't want to say that there's, you know, several different things happening, and, you know, there's several things that I think we need to discuss. You know, is there going to be a way that we can go to double IDL? Are we going to go to...
Yeah, think about double IDL. I mean, I would love to be there. I've actually forgotten the abbreviation for that. Give me a sec. I'm going to Google it. Double IDL. What does that mean again?
Are we going to go for a family holiday?
Double IDL conference. So it stands for the International Initiative for Disability Leadership.
Yeah.
Woo-wee! Big name.
Yeah. I think that would be just an amazing conference to go to if we...
I would love to go there.
Get the opportunity, so I was thinking...
It would be amazing.
That's another conversation to be had, you know. What way could we get support for that?
I mean, I was thinking about that, because how do you top Japan?
Yeah.
How do you even remotely get to a point where you top Japan? I mean, Japan 2018 blew my mind. I mean, we didn't even know we were going until like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
Something weird like that, because I remember we were picking up Christmas presents.
Yeah. So we were definitely...
That's how I know it was like very near Christmas.
We were just walking outside Toy World, and Jade said, "Oh, I got a call. Oh, it's an unknown number. Okay." And we walked outside of Toy World. It was crazy packed and hard to get out, hard to hear. And then Jade said, "Hi," and I recognised the name, and I thought, didn't know the last name yet, and I was like, I wonder. So, yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. I still think about it, eh? The reason why I paused is just, I really feel like Japan affected my life.
So I think going to Double IDL, which is in Washington this year, you can't say that you're looking for anything to top it. You're looking for something to complement it, and actually it's different. It's in a completely different place, in a completely different environment.
I'm looking to extend. I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to understand. I'm looking for my advice to always be relevant, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's my goal.
Yeah, that's what I really want.
You know what I mean? I never want my advice to get old.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest fear in all the world, is my advice getting old and stale.
Yeah. I understand.
Sorry, just wanted to make sure it was a song that I liked.
I love this song. Is this one of your free ones or no?
Sky!
Hey, Sky!
We were just talking about Sky. Sorry, took my eye off the chat real quick. We saw that you were hosting us.
Thank you.
It might be you or somebody else, but Sky in the name. But we were thinking about both the Skys, actually. Because we got Skylar is dead, and then we got Sky... I don't know how to say this one. Sky Elise?
Yeah.
I'm not even saying right, because there's no L. But, yeah, we were just talking about the skies in our life. How philosophical was that? How's it going? How is it going? Feels like a really long time. Hannah was just talking about the fact that she wanted to go to Washington. And the interesting thing about that is we've got a couple of friends who are Washington based.
Washington based, so it'd be lovely to meet a couple of them.
And they're all in my Discord as well, so we could just drop the bomb, let them know where we're coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And...
Drop the bomb. Americans would be very familiar with that term.
But I'm just really looking forward to a great year and a positive year.
You know it's nearly over, right?
I know, it's crazy. It's
What have we even done? What have we even done, honestly? Has anybody even done anything in the last 4 months?
Okay, just 3 days ago, you said to somebody, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Do you realise that?
Yeah, I said, so this guy is the one doing engineering.
Yeah, hi, how you going?
Clive Bixby, thank you for coming along. They say, what's going on in here? We're not even sure. Do you know what's going on in here?
Hi, Clive. I'm Hannah. I don't know if I've met you before. Where are you from? I'm from New Zealand, Auckland.
Yep, that's where we're based.
Yeah.
Way down in the Pacific. Some American maps don't even have New Zealand on them.
That's amazing, really.
That
That's
is
so cool.
so amazing. We don't even exist on some world maps.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. Clive says also, I've wished someone a happy new year in the past 5 months. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's just like you don't necessarily see people day to day. So yeah, first time we've seen this person and.
Well, I obviously hadn't seen my sister for 4 months because I said happy new year.
Yeah.
It was my sister.
And tomorrow.
Clive says, to be fair, you guys are Kiwis, and that is both an animal and a fruit, so it's confusing. He's got a point, you know.
Yes.
He's got a point. Like, what are we actually? What are we?
I don't look like one.
Are we even real?
I hope I don't look like one though.
I've never thought of it that way. And we have the only bird, well, not the only bird, but a bird native to New Zealand that can't even fly. I was going to say the only one, but then I know that emus can't fly either.
Yeah.
So it's not actually the only one.
No.
But emus are like massive.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it, emu?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's got a point where animals and fruit.
Yeah.
But, you know, before it was called the kiwi, it was actually referred to as the Japanese gooseberry. Look at me being the encyclopedia over here.
Before it was the kiwi fruit.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the bird here. I'm talking about the fruit.
Yeah.
The gooseberry.
And Sky is representing for Aussie. Doesn't want Aussie being left out of the conversation. Aussie.
Do you know if Aussies missed off the map? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure.
Nah. There's no way you could miss Australia off the map. Did
No.
you know? I even think it's actually its own continent. the country is that big. It's its own continent. It's got like 3 different time zones as well in Australia. Pretty sure.
Sky, can you
I don't travel a whole bunch.
can you confirm that? Because I'm not actually sure.
I don't travel a whole bunch, and actually I don't mind sharing probably the rawest geography story you're probably ever gonna hear in your life. But New Zealand has 3 islands. So it's got the North Island, the South Island, and what we call Stewart Island. I think there's like 1,000 people max that live on Stewart Island.
Oh, less. A lot
less.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, Hannah's been all around because her family are from different areas of the country, and my family is totally from Auckland, like one city in New Zealand. My whole family's just always been here. That's just how it is. And there was a time, I won't go too deep, but your grandma was sick. She was coming to the end. You asked me to go to Nelson.
Yes.
With you, but the thing about, I wasn't in my right mind because I just had hip surgery. It's one of those things you sometimes have to do when you're in a wheelchair. So I just had hip surgery, and it was quite major. It was a full hip replacement, so they had to really get in there kind of thing. Anyway, I was on about 60 milligrams of morphine a day at that point. So I really wasn't living real life. like I was just like, I didn't even know where I was, what I was doing. And Hannah's like, oh, you should come on a plane and you should come with me to Nelson.
Can I just interrupt this story
Go.
for 2 seconds?
This is where it gets crunchy. Okay.
For me, Jade had already taken the plane.
Oh, here we go.
And attended a meeting. A 2-day meeting.
That old chestnut, eh? That old chestnut.
Doesn't even need to say a thing. Just come to support me.
And then I was like, I have a childish yet sense of humour, so can either of you say, I do enjoy spending time on a big deck? We say deck though, like, Australians say it differently, much differently, and then it sounds like the thing he's trying to say. But it really is deck, Do you say deck or veranda or?
Deck.
Yeah, I mostly say deck.
Yeah.
I don't know if Clive is trying to get us banned. I don't know if we're potentially in line to get banned, but we'll see. Anyway, so eventually Hannah bullies me just enough to where I say, okay, fine, I'll come to Nelson. And then we're on the plane, and I'm like, so how did it really go down?
It was actually, we popped around to your mum's to get something quickly. Can't remember what exactly, but we were at your mum's, and we were talking about, and then your mum's like, your mum said something, and she's like, we were talking away, and she asked me, whereabouts in Nelson are they, and then your mum turned to me and she's like, didn't you know it was in the South Island? Nelson's in South Island. And
I thought I found out on the plane.
No. And then there was a big question of, then you said, I'm not going. I
was post-op, man. Like, jeez.
And then do you know what he next said? There's no hospitals in the South Island. No hospitals. What if I need a hospital? We're not going to, Fiji or Rarotonga, they actually have actual hospitals where they can perform surgery. So, yeah.
Avariana says, speaking of how Australians pronounce things, I bet you two would be the only ones to say my name right. Let's see if I said it right. Avariana. I don't know. I think I balls it up.
How's it spelled?
Avariana. Oh, speaking of which, we've got new people, so you need to tell them about your eyes.
Oh, hi everyone. My name's Hannah, for those who don't know. The lovely reason why Jade is actually repeating everything that's said in the chat. I am blind, so I actually can't see what's popping up. So, thank you, Jade.
Yeah, and we even have a command for that. So, we'll drop it in.
You remember the command?
Yeah, I remember the command. Yeah, the sealant ad. Sky says, have you seen the sealant ad referring to dicks? I don't know if I have.
No.
So, but I went, and it's like...
you came.
And it's like I forgot the entire conversation, though. Because we got on the plane, and I was like, oh, this is like... just somewhere around Wellington, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember getting on the plane and being, like, in shock. And you're like, no, JD. That's what Hannah does when she's trying to be nice to me. She calls me JD. But you put a Y on the end of anything and it sounds nicer. And she's like, no, JD, we're going to the South Island, okay?
And then what I actually said is, I said, it's alright, you know that they've got proper hospitals in Wellington. You've been to Wellington a lot. And I said, it's only like an hour away from Wellington.
Wow. A whole hour?
So if we needed to go to the Wellington hospital, we could. So I was just trying to be nice and just trying to reassure him because...
But to get to the Wellington hospital, we'd have to hop over the Cook Strait.
Yes.
And like, you were just blowing my mind. I feel like you were mind-jobbing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how bad my geography is. And it was a bad old time. Because I was on drugs. Your grandma was on drugs. There were hardly any sober people around. But we got through. I even took a couple of business meetings while we were down there, though.
Yes. That was something that I was going to say.
And that was amazing. Because I do not remember them at all.
Yeah. You took a couple of business meetings.
I took a web development meeting and I took a policy meeting by video conference.
Yes.
It was just amazing. I do not remember them.
Yeah. Yeah. But through work we've started travelling more and I hope we get to travel around more of the world.
We've been travelling a bit this year, not a whole bunch.
Just a little bit.
But enough.
You know, at your previous job we travelled a lot around New Zealand.
A lot.
You know, I hope we get to travel a bit more around, see a bit more of Australia maybe. Love to go to the UK.
I gotta go back to Australia because I've only been to Melbourne and it was like Friday to Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even that long.
I think it was Friday to Monday morning.
Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
So we weren't there that long. We didn't see a whole lot. We visited a couple of attractions.
Yeah.
We went to the Melbourne Star.
Yeah.
And then we went to the waterfront, and that was pretty much it. So we didn't do a whole lot. We stayed sort of in the centre of Melbourne.
Yeah.
We bought some clothes. We were told it was going to be cheap. It wasn't so cheap.
No. No.
I guess we went when the dollar was quite close. I don't know.
Yeah.
Clive Bixby says, if I ever go to NZ, can I crash at your place? Absolutely, and I'll go get a hotel. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely we can do that.
So has Clive told us where he's actually from?
Airbnb is a thing now. So, you know, we can definitely hook you up, Clive. Yeah, whereabouts are you from? He's from the US. That's not totally descriptive though. Whereabouts? That's like saying I am from New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like we've got people who are friends.
Michigan.
I think you're our first person that we've ever met from Michigan, so hello.
Yeah, Detroit represent.
We've got a lot of friends who are, South Side.
Yeah.
But,
Where is Simon, to be honest? Tandy, what is going on?
Hi, Tandy.
Tandy was here the night that Simon came over.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. We need to get that sorted out, but he's definitely not here today. Sorry about that, Tandy.
Question for you guys. I know where Simon is. No, kinda. What do you all think of public holidays? Because right now we're having a public holiday, and of course Simon was smart enough to take off all the days in between public holidays, so he got about a week off.
So he could leverage the leave and get like a whole week off.
The weekends off and then the days in between, so...
He told me about that plan and it was like amazing, so I did it as well.
Yeah.
Sky will know why we're off today, because today is in fact Anzac Day. It's the day where Australia and New Zealand celebrate the sacrifice of veterans, living and dead, that made the sacrifice so we can live the lives that we live.
I was absolutely fascinated. The other day on the news I saw, you were having a show at the time. There was a piece in Australia done. Now, Sky, you can actually confirm if this is true or incorrect. They said that in Australia, if you mess with if you're a bakery and you bakery cafe, if you mess with the Anzac biscuit recipe, you could either get a $50,000 fine or 1 year in jail. So no coconut.
Is that a real thing?
So that is what they said. That is what Channel 7, I think. She said this was coming from Channel 7 News. And I was like, wow, is that true or was that a bit of a game? So.
Oh, no, we've dropped out. Uh-oh. Okay, we're back.
Hey.
3, 2, 1. Yep, we're back.
Hey.
Sorry about that. I genuinely don't know what happened. Our stream health was totally fine. Our CPU was totally fine. So the last thing we started saying before I noticed the technical problem is that, yep, Anzac Day, and it's a day where we celebrate veterans, living and dead, that have, sacrificed their lives and their families to give us the freedom that we all enjoy, but it does have a particular focus at the dawn parades on those soldiers that have given their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people are actually here anymore. That's the only thing. I hate that.
Yeah. We always try and pop back up as quick as possible. Don't like it to happen at all, but
Yeah, we got 5 people here, so everybody came back.
cool.
Looks like it anyway. Yeah, sorry about that, Clive. Thanks for being here. So that's what Anzac Day represents. And if I could just talk about that for a second, because to be real with you, I've been really disappointed at the amount of companies that have used Anzac Day for promotional leverage. I specifically didn't want to put anything about Anzac Day in my title
Right.
because I didn't want to use it as a promotional mechanism.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about Anzac Day, and I support the veterans 100% in all that they do for our country and Australia as well.
But we don't want it to be a clickbaity
No, I will not.
reason, no.
No.
It's a genuine thing, and it's important.
I was just so I don't know. Leave a comment because I want to know whether you would be okay with because I think America has Memorial Day, where that's their day of recognizing veterans. I think they even have Veterans Day.
Yeah.
So, like, how would you feel if, companies would, like, make a Veterans Day post and then put their logo on it, as if it was, like, a promotional tool? I'd be really interested in your guys' feedback about, how you'd feel if you saw that online. Because I flipped my lid, I really did.
And one thing, we were saying before about it is just, how do people feel about public holidays? In New Zealand, we've only got 3 days out of the year, roughly, that shops are required to close. And then it's restricted to only certain shops being allowed to open.
It gets really confusing in New Zealand what the retail rules are.
Yeah, really confusing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, on Good Friday, no supermarkets were open, but on Easter Sunday, the supermarket could open, but it was a public holiday, so retail shops couldn't open. So
Clive says to Tandy, from what I've seen, Veterans Day is mostly discounts for veterans. And would that be for veterans only? Yeah, I suppose that is what he's saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
good.
But is it a public holiday, I think is my question, when my brain can actually catch up? I'm trying to understand. Does everybody get the day off on Veterans Day, Clive? It's so weird how I had that random dropout just then. I'm really annoyed.
And for us, I don't know if this is the same for the States or Australia, but we actually, every region in New Zealand has
Regional holidays.
regional holidays. One, they're called anniversary days, so as Auckland anniversary, and like I know of, there was I think it was Southland anniversary was on Tuesday, So it would mean that they really would get a 4-day weekend, and then if they were smart, they'd take the Wednesday off and then have the Thursday off as well. So then it'd be 6 days.
So basically, no one's going to work.
Yeah. So basically, they could take Wednesday, Friday off, and then have,
Nothing.
just over a week, week plus 3 days, 10 days. So
Clive says Veterans Day is just a banker's holiday. Really, discounts for vets, but normal people don't get the day off. See, that's interesting.
that is interesting.
That's interesting because Anzac Day we all get the day off.
Yeah.
Where do you sit with it? Let's do a poll. Should everyday citizens get the day off on Anzac Day? Go. Oh, come on, man. It's not
you
interesting.
go.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I would say no, but to the point that Tandy made about discounts, I mean, sure they are a promotional tool. Can't get away from that. I would like to see vets be able to ride public transport for free.
Yes.
Maybe cafes giving them free coffees and bagels everywhere.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Not just a discount, but like giving it for free.
My question would be, what do we actually do apart from Anzac Day for our soldiers?
Say that again. I totally missed that. I was following the chat.
What do we do for New Zealand soldiers, those who have passed and those who are here, especially those coming back from war? What support do they actually truly have? And then, my thought was Anzac Day, well, if it is used for education for children and understanding what it actually means and the importance of what soldiers actually do.
I wouldn't be sharing that with children, though. Would you really share that with children, what soldiers actually do? I mean, sure, there's a peacekeeping function and a border security function and, all that. But at the end of the day, sometimes the gun's got to come out.
I think just the peacekeeping and the gun may have to come out, but actually acknowledging that there were wars, we don't need to focus on what it was, but actually focusing on these people gave themselves for their country, no questions, and they knew that.
Clive says, don't tell kids what soldiers do, but celebrate them.
Yeah, celebrate them, I think.
Yeah.
And I think not necessarily, and kind of what I'm trying to get at is for kids to understand that they need to celebrate them.
Well, I wonder if celebrate is the wrong word, because I wonder if the word is appreciate.
Appreciate, yes, that is exactly what I was thinking of.
Because it's about the sacrifice, eh?
Yes, it is.
Because they are putting their lives potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
On the line. We give them the technology and the equipment to ensure they're safe. Radars and all that. We don't just send soldiers out to get obliterated.
No.
We try and ensure their safety. But they are essentially committing to a sacrifice.
Yeah. Then you never know if they'll come back or not. And then the one thing I was saying is, what support do soldiers get when they come back?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What kind of support is given? I've got no idea if soldiers get offered the support that they really need with, coming back into society, and especially if they've been in a war zone, how extensive is counselling? How extensive is support with PTSD? How much support is there for the family?
I do know of things anecdotally around the world, but just sticking with New Zealand on that question for the moment.
Yeah.
I know that we're very, very poor in what we do. I think we give people unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and I'd love somebody in the sphere of the military in New Zealand to maybe talk to me sometime. Probably not on Twitch.
Yeah.
But on my other platforms. I'd love to find out what we actually do for vets. And not only find out what we do for vets, but also find out whether it helps.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of people that will jump at the chance to talk about what they do, but what I'm interested in is whether we're ensuring our vets are healthy.
Yes.
And return to their families in a state that they can be reintegrated in.
Also, and I guess this kind of clicks for me because of the line of work that we do.
Really?
A little different. Let me complete my thought, okay?
Yeah, sorry.
The fact is, we talk about actually people with disabilities. Sometimes they may need to take a few extra days off, but they are amazing at their work. And the understanding of people with disabilities, with lived experience, the understanding that they are people, and the understanding and listening to people that sometimes it's not good for them to come in, and sometimes it might be needing that they work from home. How understanding are we to individuals who are not going to go back and work in that line of work to do anything with the army? How much support can we give to actually getting a new career, and then that understanding of, okay, things aren't going right with issues with PTSD, or things aren't going right with actually, and then having the restriction on, you've only got so many sick days, so what do we do with then stress? So that's what I was kind of thinking about, that understanding work environments.
Yeah, I mean, Clive, I totally agree with what Clive says here. Clive says wounded warriors need to be looked after. That's 100%. Because I guess we expect individuals to go into environments that are nutballs crazy. Like we make video games about the stuff they go into, and we just sort of play the game, and when we die we respawn, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Where they go, there's no respawn.
No.
If you get caught by a grenade or an IED, there's no respawn. So there's no way that I can fathom what that does to the human brain and the human psyche. We're telling them to go into those environments.
And then it's like, why did I live and, the soldiers around me didn't live?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Clive, thank you for the follow. We really appreciate that. For some reason, the alert didn't pop off.
Thank you
sorry,
so much, Clive.
But we can see that. Maybe it'll be a delayed reaction from Streamlabs.
Thank you very much.
There it is. Thank you very much.
What's your alert at the moment? Because I didn't hear
it's The Simpsons.
I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear it either.
Oh, well, if it came up, it's cool.
I'll have to check it. I think it's our mix. We've got our mix all wrong today.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is again. Cool. So I don't know, really reflecting about freedom today, and just really appreciate the ability to work in the way that I try to. I don't want to be claiming to do it all perfectly. Trying to spread a more positive message of what it means to be disabled and the contribution that disabled people can make.
Clive, did you want to share a bit about yourself? What do you do with your work, line of work?
Clive says, glad I could be around for Anzac Day. Us too.
Thank you.
We feel so stoked to meet you, Clive. You've been a really positive contribution to our stream today. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It's been really awesome.
Yeah. As I was saying earlier, we love to get to know people, and we feel like we've really made some good friends on here. And we're all about having conversations and learning who people are, and that's why we had somebody actually say what they were doing before, because that's how we get to know who you are.
Yeah, we're really about building a community. In saying that, we did take a couple months off.
We did take a couple months off.
More than a couple of months, so... I have aspirations to have my own podcast studio like H3 or
yeah,
or even what's his name? I forget his name. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, I want to have a studio like that one day, and I want to stream it on Twitch.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mean it too. It's not something we celebrate here. But I know it's a huge holiday there. It is. And off the back of the, don't want to take it to an awkward place, but I guess off the back of the incident that happened in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Days like these are really important to celebrate freedom.
And I was actually a little bit worried that...
there was going to be a situation.
There was going to be a situation today, but no. So it's really changed the way that gun laws have been, and
We've basically banned automatic weapons in New Zealand. And I don't know if there's pro-gun people in the chat. I still don't know where I sit. We don't necessarily have a Second Amendment in New Zealand, so you don't have a right
no
to have a gun. That's kind of like a concept that we need a bit of time to get our head around.
Yeah, and just to let you know, Clive, you've got to have a gun license. It's
you
not
do
your
in
right.
America too, though. You can't just go bang, bang, bang like the cowboy movies.
Yeah, but you can't use a gun to defend yourself. It's not our right. So, yeah.
I found out recently that America has this thing, and please chime in if I get any of the facts wrong. But there's a thing called a stand your ground law.
Yeah.
So if someone disrespects you enough, like just disrespects you, apparently standing your ground is legal defense for killing someone.
Wow. That is intense. Yeah.
So, I don't know, chime in the chat, because I want to know a bit more about that. Probably should have done my research before I spoke about it. But I only heard about it yesterday. So I haven't got deep into it or anything. Stand your ground laws, eh?
It's...
Clive says, I'm pro Second Amendment, but 100% in favour of Kiwis making their own laws for our own country, I guess he's saying. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm not a lawmaker, I'm not over there in Parliament. I don't know where I sit, whether I'm pro-gun or not. I don't know about you, Hannah. I think I'm still on the fence. Would I want the right to defend my family if there was a situation and not be threatened with jail time? Of course.
Yes.
I'd want to have that right to defend my family
Yeah.
in any kind of circumstance. Tyrannical government is an interesting concept. Have you ever thought about the idea of the government going bad on us and us having to like literally bust in to the beehive and
Yeah.
sort shit out?
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah, I was wondering that. But I was wondering what it would look like. And also if we might need some support from our friends worldwide.
Australia in particular.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? They've
Yeah.
been such partners of ours for like 100 years.
Yeah.
Do you think they would jump in if we had a tyrannical government?
Yeah. It's just like,
I don't know, man.
how do you then first manage who is then going to go into government?
See, that's a conversation to have too about whether, because I don't mind saying out here that I'm pro... I'm more on the libertarian end. So I believe in smaller government, less government intervention, less taxes.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I'm at. Yeah.
Local council looking after their local areas, and then
I'm even saying local people taking care of their communities.
Yeah,
not having big structures of like red tape.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to actually get to, is that the local councils would be the bodies for the region, but overall that the local people would be together actually making decisions for regions, and then maybe there'll be a few representatives that would represent the food industry for that region, and then they'll be able to communicate with other regions to actually talk to their representatives, and then their representatives will be able to actually talk with the whole of the people in the regions.
That still sounds like a lot of layers, no? What about private contracts between people? People are just deciding, okay, this is my bit of road, that's your bit of road, you take care of that bit of road, I'll take care of this bit of road. And then a whole bunch of people can get together and say, okay, together we will build a highway. But, we're saying that everybody can use the highway, and we might even charge people to use the roads.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that. It's more the fact that,
road user pays. I'd like to see New Zealand go much more user pays.
What I was thinking of is that, so the food industry, instead of one region having, one sorts of policy, they could then share with another region, not tell them what to do, but actually let them know this is what we do in Auckland, and this is how it works.
You'd like a governance model that was like branches. Just
so that there was a chance for people to talk to, so new people going into businesses, I've known of people that have never run a restaurant, but then they want to run a restaurant. Right now we have to follow food safety laws and food safety guidelines.
You have to get a certificate and whatnot.
You got to get a certificate and whatnot, and maybe is it a way for them to actually have someone to be able to mentor them? So it's not about telling them what to do and what they have to do, it's about reflections and learnings from each other, and actually then people realise, well, actually some things don't work. this works for us and this doesn't work, and choices and control of what they end up choosing to do.
See, I'm excited about the concept of free market. I know we're jumping subjects quite a bit. I'm excited about the concept of free market because in a genuine free market environment, when the banks failed back in the early 2000s, they would not be rescued.
Yeah.
The free market would say, you fucked up, and that's it for you.
Yeah.
You know? Like, let the families that invested money with you sue you and, liquidate your assets and get the proceeds of that, but you're out of business. Like, when Apple went into business recently with Goldman Sachs around the Apple Card, like, I'm a huge Apple fan. Apart from this Twitch rig that we have here, we're Apple people. I'm afraid to say that because I know PC Master Race and all that. But when I saw that them going into business with Goldman Sachs, I was just like, fuck. That's so not even a move that I ever thought Apple would do.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple's got more money than the American government.
Wow.
Like, yeah, that's how much money they have. And so Clive says personal responsibility is key, and that's what I believe in, definitely. That each is allowed to make choices in their lives to benefit themselves and their family in a way that's not going to be hindered by rules and regulations that you don't necessarily agree with.
Yes.
And taxation is a big one because, apart from roads and water, I don't think the government should be spending money on anything else.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Like, the concept of government originally, well, at least as I understand it, was based around ensuring people had common infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, when I think of common infrastructure, I think of water and roads.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like, what else does the government actually need to do? And 99% of the government programs that exist in most countries, they get funded. Do we even learn about the effectiveness of those programs?
No. And one other point I was going to make, what about having Wi-Fi capability, like not to our houses, but actually from our roads, having accesses, exchanges?
That's interesting because you're asking me if we've reached a point in society where Wi-Fi is a utility. Clive says, full disclosure, I don't follow your Prime Minister much, but you are dangerously close to sounding like an American. Uh-oh. Why do you say that, Clive? Why do you say that? I'm definitely not an American. I would technically be an immigrant if I ever moved there. But.
And I guess I could say one thing, Clive. Some of Jade's views are actually opposite to our Prime Minister. So.
Very, very opposite, because if I was to compare it to anything, the Labour Party would be the Democratic Party of New Zealand, most definitely.
And that is what party our Prime Minister is currently sitting in.
Yeah, so.
Excuse me right now, I just need to go and get myself a water.
Great. You get water. So, interesting you say that, and I definitely want some feedback on that, Clive. if that's okay with you. Your PM is very opposite to my thoughts. I just think you know individuals and families, they work really hard for what they have, and taxation, you know, as far as infrastructure, I can agree with roads, I can agree with water. I might even be able to agree that the government has a stake in the airports. But other than that, I really don't see what the government should be doing in any other area of our life. I mean, the fact that in New Zealand, in order to build an extension on your house, or even not an extension, even just a renovation of your house, maybe you're putting in a extra wall to make a room, or you're putting in a pool or something, so you're not even going wildly into changing what your house is. For the fact that you have to get government permission, that really makes me nervous. Because I mean, we talk about freedom and liberty so much, and you know, what freedom and liberty do we actually have? You know, people should be encouraged to build businesses, not just work. Not just work to pay taxes. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like people are always, how do I want to frame this? They're always encouraged to get a good job. My advice to people would be to get a good business, or buy into a business, or start a business with nothing, and grow that business and pay people. And you know, I'm all about enterprising, and I'm on my early side of that journey for myself. I'm not saying I'm one of those, you know, 30 under 30 or anything, but that's what I believe in. People should be able to take their resources and build more resources out of those resources. I said resources quite a bit, but that's what I believe. That our money should stay our money for as long as we want it to be our money, and we should be allowed to engage in, you know, consensual transactions between people if we ever so desire, and tax should be a bare minimum of something we have to deal with. I feel bad because, you know, and I don't know a lot about this either, but I know that for the IRS in America, people are so confused about whether they've filed their taxes correctly.
Yeah.
That's actually why the tax scams work so well.
Yes.
So when those guys are bringing up from Bangladesh, I mean, it should be a big clue. If someone's ringing you up from Bangladesh and definitely sounding like, you know, they're in Bangladesh at the moment, that should be a big hint. But, you know, the reason those scams work is because people are so dang confused.
And that's one of those things. We've heard some of those videos. They don't... Nowadays, you don't want to assume somebody is just not from American because they don't have an American accent. And two, we don't want to... A lot of those scam videos that we watch, you can't actually hear the background often, 90%. Yeah. And if you're maybe a little bit more mature, and maybe you've trusted somebody else to do it for you, yeah.
Yeah, you just say, okay, I'm behind my taxes. How much you want? $5,000. Well, I definitely don't want to go to jail, so I'm going to give you $5,000.
Yeah.
And then they get scammed because tax is so complicated. Not in many. It's the same in New Zealand. Do you understand what goes on with your taxes?
No.
Do I understand what goes on with my taxes? No, not really.
No.
That's why you hire people.
Yeah.
And it makes you nervous when your accountant doesn't call you back when you send them emails, but not admitting.
Yeah.
You still gotta email them.
So I think the scams that we more find that we have it here that people do fall into is, oh, get this thing free, and then you get cheap products, but of course, if you to get it free.
The tax scam is working so well.
Not so well in New Zealand though.
Not so well in New Zealand.
I'm thinking of what happened to someone when you got, oh, get this free, sign up to this free, and it will be sent to you. Had to put in your credit card details and your address, and then never got it.
Just on border control, because every day we get more information about the southern border of America. We don't have an issue like that.
No.
So we're surrounded by the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
There's basically no concept of border breaches in New Zealand.
No.
What we do have is a quota of asylum seekers that we take in from other countries.
Yeah.
The interesting thing for me about asylum is, though, like, you're supposed to seek asylum in the nearest, safest country to where you are.
Yes.
So getting really technical, that is what the function of asylum provides for. We are like the furthest country from anyone. Like, next stop Antarctica kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Way, our closest country would be Australia, the islands. Yeah.
So I have no opinion. I mean, I don't know.
So we're not having people come necessarily from those areas for asylum. Yeah.
I don't know any of the facts. I just know what I know about what asylum is supposed to provide for. And it doesn't seem like we have that. It just seems like we're choosing to say, hey, come on in. It's fine.
Because you have to fly in and actually...
Clive says, free stuff is never free. Be glad you guys are islands. Please sponsor me for New Zealand citizenship and we will fix your country.
So, Clive, you've never said actually what you do, or has Jade messed it up?
No, we have asked him. We'd love to know what you do as a job. I mean, at this point, he could lie, He could just say, I'm a microbiologist. Oh, he's doing logistics.
Cool.
So, do you work for Amazon? I don't even know if he's allowed to say if he does. Pretty much anyone in logistics, some form of another, works for Amazon in America. If you do logistics, somewhere down the line, oh, no. He doesn't work for Amazon.
No. What we do have is we have a lot of diverse people coming to our countries for holiday visas, working holidays and holiday visas. A lot of people from the UK, America, Canada. And then there is a point in time that they have to either leave or actually be in line for citizenship. So,
Like,
Sure like that.
you know, what about the wall? Have we made comment on the wall here?
No, we haven't.
I am pro border security. I think border security is a fine idea. Border security is a fine idea. Whether it's a wall, I don't really know, but I'm pro border security. I think that, you know, you should not be illegally entering into another country.
And I think that's it. Like in our
Clive says build the wall.
yeah, in our country, you know, to even get into our country, you've got to go through border security, and at the airport. There's no other way, and even, you know, at the docks, with large ships and boats coming in, cruise ships or fishing vessels, there is border security, and, you know, I do think there needs to be border security. Now, I don't know enough. Is the wall the right measure? I was actually watching something the other day, and it was actually talking about, are there corrupt officers currently at the border now?
Yeah.
So are they going to let people in anyway, even if there is a wall? So
Wow, I didn't catch that. Where was that?
on something that we were watching,
Oh, okay.
and it was saying that
Throw our mic around?
I don't want that.
Kind of thought you were going to do that.
You know, are the border security agents currently good officers, or are they currently corrupt, allowing people in? So no matter if you build the wall, will people just come in anyway? So
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. But I guess something is better than nothing.
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Clive definitely supports the wall.
Yeah.
And Tandy says this is a risky topic to be talking about.
Where's
Possibly, because it's so divisive, eh? Yeah.
Sorry, whereabouts is Tandy from again?
From here.
Yeah. It is such a risky topic.
Clive also says there is another way. I'm going to row to New Zealand.
Look forward to meeting you, Clive.
Do you two think you have the right to come to the USA? Right? No. I think that's why we apply to come.
Yeah.
If we had criminal convictions or bad history or
Which we don't, but
yeah.
yeah.
if we were liberals, then you should definitely ban us from your country. LOL.
So yeah, we don't have criminal history, and
But definitely the liberal thing as well. If we were liberal, don't listen.
and you know, we would love to come, but we completely understand.
It's just, yeah, no. So what he's saying is, like, I guess he's saying the issue they've got is that people believe they have the right to go. Like,
Yeah.
with no paperwork, with no background checks, with not even announcing they were there, people just believe they have the right to do that.
No.
Do we believe we have the right to just be on a plane, not tell anyone we're coming, not even announce ourselves at all, and just slide through the airport?
Yeah. No, and like hearing about your immigrants, we hear about
Illegal immigrants.
No, let me finish this story, please. The immigrants we hear about, people coming because they're having a hard time at home, and then illegal, and then there are individuals who have come illegally for that reason because there was such a bad situation. And I don't think you should be accepting, oh, well, sorry, you're having a bad situation, we're going to take care of you. No. And I think if they've come legally, with paperwork, with exceptions, and actually giving back to society, yes. If America has allowed you, the state, allowed you in to the country, and it may only be for a short time. It may only be for a working holiday. It may not be citizenship. We've got to prove to where we go that we're not unlawful and we can give back.
Yep. And as Clive says, legal immigrants, no issues. And I have the same view for New Zealand. If you legally come here, if you've done the checks, if you've made the grade, then please come in. I'm not an imperialist, because I think the word nationalist gets battered around about. I think we have talked about that in other streams.
Yeah.
But nationalist is not a bad word. Imperialist is what the Nazis actually did. Nationalism just means that you love your country, and if you didn't love your country, I have a question to ask you about that. So, I'm definitely a nationalist.
Yeah.
And I respect other countries' borders.
Yeah.
Boom.
I need to actually look up on this, but I think the UK is a lot more restrictive in the sense of age limits.
Okay, what do you mean?
I think it's a lot easier for you to travel on an OE if you're under 35, I think. But after that, over 35.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing.
I think it's a lot harder
Yep.
to travel on an OE.
Yep, that is a thing. I don't know what law that's called.
No, so I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Clive says, nationalist, no issue. What right do I have to tell someone from the UK or New Zealand to feel about their nation? But, it was interesting because just talking about Jordan Peterson, because he actually got to have his presentation in New Zealand, which is different to Stefan Molyneux and Lauren Southern. They didn't.
Yeah.
They were banned from every single venue they tried to book. And they had a situation where initially the venue owner was like cool with them, and then they got a call from somewhere else, and they're like, no, I can't have you. Interesting though that Jordan Peterson did get in and did have his session.
What were the reasons that Jordan Peterson got to present in New Zealand, but
so Tandy, it's getting a bit wild now. So Tandy said that's interesting because you do have the right to tell someone else how to feel about your nation if you move there. No, I think once you've completed the citizenship process, then it's definitely a maybe. But just because you've moved here, even if you're on permanent resident, even if you're allowed to vote, in my mind, this is just a personal view. Yeah, your opinion holds less weight than a citizen. It just does.
I think that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't tell people. Actually, it holds less weight, and I think there's more for you to actually do and actually learn from somebody who actually lives there, who actually was, from the day they could vote in their country, did. And it's not that it's like you've just moved there and how much do you actually know about the history of the country?
Yeah. So, if I was to immigrate to somewhere like America,
yeah,
you could only see that as a privilege.
Yeah.
If I was to immigrate to somewhere like the UK, you could only see that as a privilege. Because you're not from there. You're asking you're asking to be somewhere where you're not from.
Yeah.
And you're asking to be a guest in their country.
Yeah.
And then you're asking to stay long term. So, but the whole time, it starts with the fact that you're asking. Because you're not from there.
Yeah.
So that's how I frame it. So, if I was to move anywhere, pick any country, insert name here. If I was to immigrate there, Japan's a good example. Japan's a good example because I've really been thinking about Japan a lot since we went.
Yeah.
So if I was to immigrate to Japan, you're saying, can I live here? And then you're saying you will abide by the laws even if they're not a cultural fit for you.
Yeah.
You almost have to give away some of your cultural aspects in a way. The Kiwi way of life is pretty chill and pretty liberal in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Japan is quite conservative.
Yeah.
They would not appreciate half of what we put up with, I think.
What were some of the laws that we learned about, like crossing roads and...
You can't even smoke in public without getting a fine.
Yeah.
You have to smoke indoors in designated smoking ventilated areas.
And that is something that has been prominent in place for several years. You can't suddenly move to a country, get citizenship and say,
I'm going to smoke everywhere.
I'm going to smoke everywhere. So that's kind of what we're getting at.
In New Zealand you can smoke everywhere, so I'm going to smoke everywhere here.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It was like a $20 fine.
Yeah.
For being seen smoking.
Yeah.
And then if you carried on doing it, there could be worse repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they don't play.
No.
Japan doesn't play. I mean, they've got a high population that they can't tolerate insolence, really.
Yeah. One thing that I was actually going to say is that talking about people being allowed into certain countries and whatnot. Now, we know in our country right now that we know someone who moved to New Zealand for work and then his wife wasn't actually accepted into the country. But actually, the interesting thing, when my uncle moved to America, to Seattle, for a job, he was headhunted, employed, and all it took for his wife, his girlfriend at the time, was to actually, she came over on a holiday visa, went to the legal office and got married there, and then she was legally his wife, so she could stay in the country. That's what happened.
Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure there are green card rules, aren't there?
Yeah, but that's what happened. And then my cousin was born, and now she's an American citizen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the birthright is automatic either if you're an immigrant. So I'm hoping that your uncle and auntie were citizens by the time their daughter was born. Because I know New Zealand has like birthright things, like if you're birthed here, you get a passport.
Yeah.
But not every country has automatic birthright.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works in America, but
No, I'm not sure either, but...
yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't automatically get automatic birthright.
Maybe
I
she's
said
something.
automatic twice. But... oh, wow. Apparently you do.
Yeah.
Clive says if you're born here, you get citizenship. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyway, this has been a super interesting conversation. I don't often get to have conversations like this,
Yeah.
and like I 100% believe in discourse.
Yeah.
So I believe in people having a conversation where opinions can differ. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Like, I invite all opinions and all perspectives anytime.
Yeah.
Because I like to be challenged in my own thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, thinking about that one guy, Steven Crowder, you know, I watch a lot of his content.
Yeah.
The change my mind segments that he does, they're fine, but the only opinion I would add is that it's not really a segment until his mind is changed.
Yes.
Because he's going in with an opinion, and up to this point, he's been able to show that he brings the stronger basis of facts, and he's developed his understanding of his position.
I did actually see something the other day, though, which was really good. Was he was actually educating people, I'm not sure who it was, educating somebody actually how to do a change my mind. And he said, no, you're just attacking them. You've got to actually let them, you've got to listen to their point, hear them, and then rebut their point. But yeah, that he comes prepared actually with that question, with the facts, with the answers. So it'd be interesting to know how much does he actually give universities notice that he's actually going to be
Hold on,
coming.
Hannah, we dropped out again. Just waiting to get back on. Yeah. You know what's been interesting about these dropouts? I keep half, like, in the back of my mind, I keep thinking, oh crap, have we been banned? Like, like I'm always worried because conservatives are definitely under attack online, and you have conservatives left, right, and centre getting banned on Twitter, banned on YouTube, deplatformed, left, right, and centre. But you were talking about Stephen Crowder and what happened with that last video. Go ahead. Well, we're back online.
So he was actually educating somebody on how to actually run a Change My Mind. Now, sorry, I'm not sure who it was, but he actually said, no, you're actually interrupting the person. The person actually has to let you know their point of view before you can rebut. Don't just try and rip their head off. And then I was thinking, well, Stephen Crowder comes with a point that he wants his mind changed on. Does he actually give universities notice, colleges, universities, that notice that you are coming, he's coming? But then I was going to say...
Yeah, he has to get a permit.
But how prepared are individuals? Because, he's received death threats and all sorts, so...
Well, he wouldn't necessarily advertise where he's at with a platform like his.
No.
He can't let people know where he's at until, the day.
So it's like, how do people really know? Of course he gets permits from the right people, but how do the individuals really plan? If so, then it's
you mean plan the rebuttals?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So your point is that they're coming fresh with no notes.
Yeah.
No time to prepare the rebuttal that he's putting forward.
Some people may say things that are almost, 80% right, but they've just repeated it wrong because they haven't quite got the fact wrong. But if they had a chance to actually look up, Stephen wouldn't be able to rebut that, question that point, because the person would have been right with what they were saying, but just because they've got the incorrect fact but the right premise, he can still say that
that's
wrong.
Interesting. Yeah. So you're okay, not putting words in your mouth, but are you saying what would it look like if Stephen went to a debate that was formally prepared?
Yeah. But then
with a moderator and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, well, how do you actually ensure that it doesn't become too, I guess, strategic and professional and ineffective, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, and it's probably a good place to leave it. I'm going to drop the social links.
Please.
If you're new here and you feel like being awesome, please consider following my social media accounts. I'm pretty active. I'm not the most active. I actually have a day job. We're coming up on 1 hour and 48 minutes total, not including the, it won't look like that on the stream clock because we had to keep restarting and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the total time and it's talking about 1 hour 48 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good time to leave it. Really want to acknowledge the contributions that Tandy and Clive have made.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
To the stream today. Very civil and supportive. Thank you guys a lot for that. We look forward to seeing you in future streams.
Definitely.
Part of our strategic meeting tomorrow is committing to a schedule.
Yes.
For Twitch. So this is something that we've never done before. Committing to a schedule, so it might be once or twice a week just to get a rhythm going, and then we'll see what we can do from there. But if you feel like being awesome, please consider following me on social media so we can let you know the next time that we'll be going live. There is also a Discord. I'll drop that as well.
Yes, please. Because sometimes we enjoy just turning on the Discord and actually talking with our friends on Twitch.
Yep, so another way to know when we go live is the fact that I've set up live alerts on my Discord. So if you don't necessarily have the notifications on the Twitch app, which I actually don't, you can get the alerts on Discord. But anyway, guys, I can't appreciate your contributions enough. Thank you for everything that made this stream great this afternoon for us anyway.
Yes.
So thank you for being a part of the channel. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Please stay awesome.
See you guys on the next one. Thank you.